Welcome back. We appreciate you spending time with us as always here on this Sunday. Over the last few years, flipping past the channels, if you have the Food Network, you had to have seen this.
Today's secret ingredient is scallop mushrooms. Crab cheese.
Now, it's high drama there on the Food Network, and I cannot count on one hand anymore how many food programming shows there are on TV right now. But food, and more food. It is something that is, I guess, tempting our taste buds, not only from a visual standpoint, but also from a career standpoint. That is why we have some great guests here from OCC, Owens Community College, joining us, the Culinary Arts Program. Chef Bill Powell, also Tina Osman and Gretchen Fairweather joining us from the program. Good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Thanks.
So we showed Iron Chef there, Chef, and obviously very dramatic, but it's that, I guess, interest that has really, I mean, do you see it, it's always been there, or do you think over the last decade or so, being a chef is really cool?
It truly is. About the last 15 years or so, I think, with the popularity of the Food Network, you can't walk into a bookstore anymore and not find the cookbook section, the food magazine section being one of the larger sections represented.
Yeah, reality programming has done wonders as far as food is concerned. So all of a sudden, here comes the Culinary Arts Program, and obviously OCC is really making a commitment to this program, what we have seen over the last couple of weeks, the announcements.
Certainly. We launched the program in 2006 in earnest, but our biggest challenge was it was so popular that we didn't have enough space to meet the demand. And the college administration put a great deal of faith in our program. We've launched a new facility. We took possession of it in earnest in January of this year, and the program is growing like gangbusters.
Talk about the facility and what you are adding to that. What was needed? What did you get? What are you seeing?
Wow, great question. We really needed the opportunity to offer more baking and pastry classes. One of the challenges that we had in our old facility was there wasn't much climate control there. So when you're working with chocolate, when you're working with sugar, you need temperature control, you need humidity control in order to make those things successful.
In the room, not just making them and sticking them in the fridge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what are you seeing now as far as the changes that have been implemented? We're looking at some video when we were out at the announcement a couple of weeks ago, but what are you seeing as far as how this is really helping the students?
Well, it's helping the students because we're able to give them a learning experience in more than one lab. Previously, we only had one kitchen, so the students were moving through their baking pastry classes, the Garnishing classes, the techniques of healthy cooking classes, using the same equipment in the same environment. This new facility gives us the opportunity to expose the students to more than one production environment.
Gretchen joining us, she's one of the instructors out there. Garnishing, is that?
Very good.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
That word came up when we were in our break, but that is kind of your specialty, your niche. Talk about that for our viewers if they don't understand exactly what that is, and talk about teaching at this new facility and what you're seeing in the students who come in and want to get in this program.
Sure. Garnishing is the cold kitchen, and so a lot of it has to do with preserving and curing. We make our own sausage in that class. They make these amazing pâté terrines. We also do a lot of garnishing with vegetables and fruit and vegetable carvings. We make our own cheese. I know that many of my students say it's one of the hardest classes because it's not something that they're familiar with. We don't see a lot of these items in Northwest Ohio. Up until now, I'd say it's really coming around where you are finding their own cured meats in different restaurants in the area, and their own pâtés and their own cheese making, and we have more local cheese places.
Yeah.
But it's a totally different skill. What's great about our new facility is it's huge, and this is, sausage making isn't a small thing to do. You end up spreading out. So we have this amazing facility now where the students, every single student this semester in my class, got to make their own sausage, which was unheard of in the smaller facility. 3 of them would work on one sausage.
Sure.
But in this case, we made venison sausage and turkey apple sausage.
Kielbasa, bratwurst,
yes.
chorizo. What's the other one?
Italian. We made spicy Italian and sweet Italian. There was also a sweet lamb sausage that was made for
the spicy lamb sausage for the opening. Yep.
Now, are these the exam type preparations that we're talking about? I mean, students are coming in here, and obviously this isn't just, hey, let's see if you can do this.
No, it's not at all.
This is part of the class.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just in the classroom, it's also they need to know the components of it, how to go about it, what temperature to hold the ground meat at in order to get a good emulsion on their sausage.
And we do the restaurant report card here every single week, so obviously when they're going out and checking these places to make sure they're up to snuff as far as temperature, conditions, climate, what have you, that is key. That is important.
Absolutely. And I actually show the report card many times in my class, the
Yeah.
Serve Safe class, just so that they can get an idea of not just what to watch for when they're working, but also what it can do to your reputation if you do own your own restaurant,
Yeah.
or you are the executive chef. You don't want to show up on the report card.
Yeah. When I asked you about the students who are coming in, and Tina, I want to get to your hopes and dreams as far as this career is concerned, but the students who are coming in, what do you see out of them? What are they hoping to gain out of going into a field like this?
I think where we are in Northwest Ohio right now is a great spot because it's blooming and so much is happening. But I see our students, everything.
Now, when you say blooming, what are you referring to?
The amount of restaurants, new places that have come up in the last couple of years that are just really a lot more cutting edge than I think Northwest Ohio
More
has
eclectic
been.
for this area?
Absolutely,
Yeah?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Doing their own stuff, being creative, and not just going with the norm. Doing these amazing comfort food with a twist, and it's really cool, this area right now. There's so many restaurants that I love to go to in this area.
I want to show a graphic that is presented by the Owens Community College folks, showing some of those careers that are out there as far as this industry is concerned. And when you look down the line, they talk about starting salaries per year, executive chef, pastry chef, food scientist, food writer. So many different ways you can go with this. I think we have a couple of more there: restaurant manager, sous chef, hospitality manager, and cook in general. But Tina Osman, who's joining us, you have kind of a different twist on what you would like to do with this career.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person that works in a restaurant, you know. I mean, I started the program thinking, oh, I'm going to open my own bakery, but I've changed my ways that I want to actually feed people on like a daily basis, whether it's through healthcare or education is one of my big things about getting kids to realize that their food doesn't just come out of a box, that it comes from the ground, it comes from, you know, how many kids don't know a hamburger comes from cow? My 6-year-old knows hamburger comes from cow, but there's not many kids who know that. And that's one thing that my lifelong goal is to help change school lunches, especially in Northwest Ohio, to be less packaged and more prepared in facility and in the building and in the school, less salt, less chemicals, less preservatives, just real food.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to do.
What are you finding? She's describing the classes going in there. You talk about making your own sausage, things of that nature. What are you finding out of these classes? When somebody's out there today watching thinking, I might be interested in that, how bad is the challenge? How big is the challenge? Not bad. How big is it?
It's a big challenge because the world of food is so huge and you learn so much. And I don't think it's hard at all. I mean, yes, Garnishing I found was a harder class because, like Chef G said, it's something I've never heard of. I've never heard of Garnishing. I never made a pate. I've never made a terrine. I've never even thought about making my own sausage before. But it's really, if you take it one thing at a time, it's not that hard. It's not that challenging. But I think it's something that at least I know I'm passionate about.
Chef Bill, I was interested when she said she went in thinking I might want to do this. I actually found interest in doing something other than that. So this is just like any other type of person going into college, going into a university thinking I'm going to change my major, I'm going to focus here, elsewhere. You find that a lot?
We do, especially when we teach those survey classes, those first semester classes, and we're getting to know the students and we ask them what their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations are. The vast majority of them say they want to own their own operation, whether it's a bakery, a restaurant, and then we find throughout the course of their time with us that evolves because they're exposed to so many more options.
You know, I had some folks from Bar 145 on a couple of weeks ago, and they have franchised. They're stretching out. They're in Columbus. They're in Akron as well. You and I had a quick discussion talking about the opportunities that are here in Northwest Ohio as far as, and Gretchen tapped on it as well, making a difference in this market when it comes to food.
Definitely. One of our biggest challenges is the fact that the food and beverage industry in Northwest Ohio is growing so quickly. We are constantly getting emails and phone calls from individuals who are looking for our students. The challenge is our students are already employed.
Yeah.
So it's a great position for us to be in as a program. It's a great position for our students to be in, also to have those options available to them. There's such diversity here that we wouldn't necessarily have found 15 to 20 years ago.
Well, Bill, Tina, Gretchen, thank you so much for taking some time. More information out at OCC. We will post that online for you folks there at home. We appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back right after this.